Welcome back, everyone, to Math 1314, more on math. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 6, Section 6, Determinants and Cramer's rule. This one here, we're using matrices to solve systems of equations. Alright, so remember, matrices, you have two equations with two variables. There's the first equation. The second equation is that one. So the subscripts line 1, line 2. To use matrices, we convert only the coefficients. The rows represent the equations, and the columns represent the variables. And there's the solutions. So the coefficients of the first row of the x, that's A1. The first row of the coefficient of the y, that's B1. And its solution is C1. The second one, the second row, column, the coefficient of x is A2. Second equation, coefficient of y is B2. And the solution is C2. So that's how we convert matrices. To find the determinants, now instead of these brackets, we're using like absolute value lines, and we use the same values inside there. And the formula is this, the product of this, so it's A1 times B2 minus this diagonal, A2 times B1. That value is the determinant. So let's look at what happens here. The determinant of this one, take these values, negative 5 times negative 3 minus 7 times 9. Negative is a positive. 5 times 3 is 15. Minus 7 times 9 is 63. Since 63 is bigger, the answer is negative. So 63 minus 15. Negative 48. So the answer is negative 48 in this first one. Evaluate. Okay, now see the straight line, so it's asking for determinant. 2 times 2 minus 3 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Since 9 is bigger, it's negative. 9 minus 4 is 5. Determinant is negative 5. We need the determinants to use Cramer's rule. And remember, so how we set everything up. So let's look at the first one. This first, on this sheet, we'll convert it to a matrix. So this is the x column, the y column, and the solutions. Only the coefficients. So the coefficient of x is 5, 7, 8. 5, 6, 6. So for this first one, that's the information we're going to use. So this one is 6.6, number 3. So we have the matrix 5, 5, 7, 6, and the solutions are 8 and 6. Now the way we use Cramer's rule, we have to find 3 determinants. We have to find the main determinant, the determinant of x, and the determinant of y. Once we find those three matrices, then we can find the values, the determinants. Once we find those, then we can find the equations, the actual values of the x and y component of our solution. So dx over d, and to find the y value is dy over d. So let's begin. The main determinant, d, that's of this original equation, 5, 5, 7, 6. So 5 times 6 minus 5 times 7. 5 times 6 is 30, minus 35 equals negative 5. So that's d. So that's our denominator. Now, d of x, we have to find dx, dy. D of x, x, y, and solutions. Now, to find d of x, the solution, since we're looking for x, it takes place of the x. Leave the y alone. So I have 8, 6. Leave the y alone, 7, 6. So the solution, I just cut and paste it, damn, right there. And we do the determinant. 8 times 6 minus this one, 6 times 7. 8 times 6 is 48. 6 times 7 is 42. 48 minus 42 is 6. So dx is 6. So anywhere I see dx, I put a 6. So there's my x component. So the dy, since I'm finding dy, I leave the x alone, so it's 5, 5, and I put the solution in place of the y. So it's 5, 5, 8, 6. That's what that is. So it's x and the solution. This is the solution and the y. So whenever you have to solve for x, the solution goes in place of x. Leave the y alone. For dy, leave the x alone, solve for y. Put the solution on y. So we have 5 times 6 minus 5 times 8. 30 minus 40 is negative 10. That's dy. This is dx. This is dy. So dy is negative 10. Negatives cancel. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So my solution is at 6, negative 5, comma 2. It's easier to put the negative out in front. So it's negative 6 over 5, 2. That's your solution. You never want to have negatives on the bottom. Let's look at the next one. Let's create the matrix. So it's negative 3, 8, and 12. 7, 7, 49. Alright, so let's do the next one. Solve. So this is number 4 of 6.6. So we had our matrix negative 3, 8, 7, 7, 12, 49. Right, this is x, this is y, these are my solutions. So the first thing, I have to find my d, have to find my dx, and have to find my dy. Once I find those, then I know x is dx over d, and y is dy over d. The formula is pretty easy for these, because if you think about it, if this is multiplication, they both the d's cancel, left with x. The d's cancel, left with y. So that's the easy way to memorize the formula. So we have to figure out the determinants. The first determinant, d, is this original one. Negative 3, 8, 7, 7. So it's 7 times negative 3 minus 7 times 8. Positive negatives and negatives. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 8. So 7 times 7 is 49. 49 is 56. 49 plus 7 is 56. So they're both negative. 56 plus 21 is 77. That's D. So it's negative 77. So it goes on the bottom of all these. Now we find dx. Remember, for dx, since I'm looking for the x part, the solution goes there. Leave the y alone. So it's 1249, 87. Times 7 minus 8 times 49. So it's 84. $392. We have 392 minus 84. So it's negative 308. So that's dx. Negative 308. Alright, so now we figure out dy. Alright, dy. Leave the x alone, put the solutions. So it's negative 37, 1249. $49 times negative 3 minus 7 times 12. It's negative 49 times 3. 147. 7 times 12, 84. They're both negative. So 147 plus 84. 231. So that's what dy is, negative 231. Okay, so they're both going to be positive since the negatives cancel. 308 divided by 7, d7. So x is equal to 4. y equals 3. So my solution is at 4, 3. You have to use a calculator. I'd rather get a right answer than careless errors. So the answer is 4, 3. Alright, now the last one. Solve using Cramer's rule. Again, I'm going to need a piece of paper because this is going to be another long one. Okay. So this first one, as we did before, let's create the matrices. This is the x, this is the y, this is the solution. So we have 4, 36, negative 4. We have 8, negative 12, 6. So this is number 5 on 6.6. Negative 4 and 6. So this is the x, this is the y, these are the solutions. Remember, we have to figure out d, dx, dy, then we have to figure out what x is. That's dx over d, and then y is dy over d. So let's figure out our first d. So it's just what's inside the main box. So it's 4, 36, 8, negative 12. The determinant, that one, is 4 times negative 12 minus 8 times 36. Positive, negative is a negative. 4 times 12 is 48. Negative. 4 times 36, so 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 3 is 24, plus this is 288. They're both negative. 288 plus 48, so 8 and 8, 16. It's 336, negative 336. So anywhere I see a D, I put a negative 336. Now to figure out my dx. Remember, this is x and y. So, since I'm solving for x, my solution goes there. My solution is negative 4, my solution column, I should say, is 4, 6, and the y stay the same. 36, negative 12. Negative 4 times negative 12 minus 6 times 36. Negative, negative is a positive. 4 times 12 is 48. Negative, positive is negative. 36 times 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. 18 plus 3 is 21. 2 16 is bigger than 48, so it's negative. Subtract these. Get negative 168. That's for dx. Negative 168. Negative 168. Now I do the same thing with dy. For dy, I leave the x alone, put the solutions in the y column. So my x column was, the original was 4, 8. The solutions was negative 4, 6. Four times 6 minus 8 times negative 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Negative negative is a positive. 8 times 4, 32. So it's 56. So 56, 56. So what is x? The negatives cancel, so it's going to be positive. 168 is half of 336, so it's 1 half. Only one negatives. The answer is negative. So 56 goes on 56 once. 56 goes on 336 5 times. No, 6 times. 6 times 36 has to be 6. So the solution is 1 half negative 1 6. The solution is 1 half negative 1 6. Alright, good luck everybody. That's the end of the course because we lost a couple of weeks due to that flood. We'll stop here and good luck.